Want to hear something crazy?
Hi, Violet Affleck, Los Angeles resident, first-time voter, I'm 18. I contracted a post-viral condition in 2019. I'm okay now, but I saw firsthand that medicine does not always have answers to the consequences of even minor viruses. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown that into sharper relief. 1 in 10 infections leads to long COVID, which is a devastating neurological cardiovascular illness that can take away people's ability to work, move, see, and even think, stands to exacerbate our homelessness crisis, as well as the suffering of many people in our city. It hits communities of color, disabled people, elderly people, trans people, women, and anyone in a public-facing essential job the hardest. To confront the long COVID crisis, I demand mask availability, air filtration, and far UVC light in government facilities, including jails and detention centers, and mask mandates in county medical facilities. We must expand the availability of high-quality free tests and treatment, and most importantly, the county must oppose mask bans for any reason. They do not keep us safer. They make vulnerable members of our community less safe and make everyone less able to participate in Los Angeles together. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was the daughter of actors Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner delivering some insane comments about a potential mask ban, which I wish I could say was out of the norm for insane leftists, but that would not be a true statement. Because you're in clown world, the cities that were forcing people to wear masks outside are now either banning them or potentially banning them. There are multiple different examples of this, including Philadelphia and New York.
Don't want to discourage people from gathering, but do what you know is smart and keep those masks on when you're with people if you don't know if they're vaccinated. We want to make sure that they are following our directive that everyone in a school setting be wearing their masks. It's heartwarming to see people walking down the streets outdoors wearing their masks. I was there on the stage of Phantom the Opera. I wanted to go there because that's where masks were first really popularized. If you remember the Phantom, years before anybody else thought it was cool to rock a mask, the Phantom of the Opera had a mask on. So we were there, a lot of excitement. Went to baseball games, people being very smart again as well, and wearing their masks and making even outdoors in places where we congregate. You have to wear masks in schools, certain healthcare settings, correctional facilities, homeless shelters, our transportation hubs.
Governor Kathy Hochul is now considering reinstating a pre-pandemic law.
Yeah, that would actually ban people from wearing face masks.
In a reversal from the COVID era, Governor Kathy Hochul is considering a partial mask ban on New York City subways due to an alarming uptick in anti-Semitic crimes.
Raise your hands if you're a Zionist.
On Monday night, a group of pro-Palestinian demonstrators donning masks infiltrated a subway car, taunting Jewish riders and urging them to get off the train.
Now, I am not going to mock this girl too much since she is not a political figure, other than to say that she clearly has some mental issues going on, and this is just one example in a sea of mental illness when you're raised by Hollywood parents. However, there was one part of her ridiculous comments that stood out as particularly detached from reality, even in California. It was when she made this claim here.
Hits communities of color, disabled people, elderly people, trans people, women, and anyone in a public-facing essential job the hardest.
So according to the religion of leftism, long COVID, as she called it, hits non-white people, disabled people, and trans people harder than it hits any other people. I am not sure how anyone could listen to that and think it makes any sense whatsoever, especially when you consider that a so-called trans person is just a guy or a girl. It is truly a delusional cult. The comments made by Affleck reminded me of a woman that spoke in Portland wearing what looked like a NASA space helmet to speak at a county commission meeting, all because the TV told her to be terrified of leaving her house.
Madam Chair, Madams Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Can you hear me okay? I'm learning how to use this, trying to avoid concussions and COVID. My name is Sharmeen Yeshilada. I'm an architect. I live and work in Multnomah Village in Portland. I am the founder of Social Architecture and Community Development. I work with micro-villages, alternative shelters, outdoor shelters, and residential infill development. I also volunteer much of my time in my community supporting houseless Portlanders through direct outreach and also supporting the Multnomah Safe Rest Village.
Stop it. Get some help.